Hello everyone, welcome back. In this episode here, um, little news episode. Uh, this has gone through and I've read it, and it looks interesting, looks hopeful. We're back to Mount Gox again. If this does happen and I recover some of my funds, that would be pretty awesome. And so I did want to check it out. If that was a possibility, I did want to see what my account balance was because it's been such a long time. But anyways, I followed a link to it, and this is kind of what comes up right here. See if you put that there, Mount Gox, and sign in. You got your username, password, just sign in, and it came up actually, and I was a little amazed. The records are still there, which is nice. If this thing comes out where I can recover my bitcoins, I'd rather have the bitcoins, or equivalent thereof, the value of bitcoins anyway. I'd rather take the bitcoins, or even just have an agreement where if they can give me the full value what it is now, you know, the money value plus the bitcoins that I bought on the exchange at the time that it closed, because you know I bought like 1-2 bitcoins for like a couple $100, you know, and what it would be worth now, it'd be worth it for me not to withdraw from the exchange and but be allowed to trade. I would be allowed to trade on the exchange, but not withdraw from the exchange if I can get the full value out of it for at least I don't know, 1 year. I mean, 1 year in Bitcoin, it's almost like 10 years. So each month is like almost a year. It's almost like 12 years. So, anyways, if I don't know if anyone's listening, but that'd be awesome if that could happen. But just want to show if anybody else out there who had a Mt. Gox account, and you're just curious what if you wanted to see your last balance, you can, and that's not a problem. I mean, it is pretty accurate from what I remember. So it was kind of weird, but at the same time, it was hopeful because the amount of bitcoins I bought for just a couple $100, man, it's I would come out on top if they can, you know, fully recognize what I had over at Mt. Gox before. So, anyways, here's some headline news to it as well. So, you know, I guess if it does happen, great. If it doesn't, I mean, I've already discounted it, but if it came back, it'd be extra for me. So, let me see what else is going on. Ooh. A lot of things going on in the news here. A lot of things have happened and did happen. Wow. It's a busy week. Anyways, I just want to bring that up real quick. You know, I hate to talk about it, but at the same time, if there's any hope in reviving this exchange, just so I can get some of my funds back, I'm all for it. I don't have any problems with that. So, anyways, feel free to like, dislike, leave a comment, or go ahead and do a video response. Until next time, stay tuned. Hello everyone, welcome back. In this episode of Bitcoin Trade, it's a little bit of news article, a little bit of chart analysis, and a little bit of other things. Okay, so this is going to be a crazy episode here, but we'll have fun with it. But here's what I've read on this issue of the warning investor alert Ponzi schemes using virtual currencies. And I read this, and I'd highly recommend if you all read it. Here is the website. There you go, it cleared up. So there's a website, and I guess you could just try to follow it. And this is the document that comes up, and I read it, and everything that they say is true. Um, does that surprise people for me to say that? Uh, Bitcoin is a Ponzi scheme. I don't know, Bitcoin is a Ponzi scheme, but some of the things people do regarding Bitcoin investments and things when starting a company can be a Ponzi scheme because it's done right now without Bitcoin. Ponzi schemes are made all the time. So Bitcoin itself is not a Ponzi scheme, but I would say what people do and how they market their business could be a Ponzi scheme. So there's a difference. So, but you know, if you look at how before Bitcoin came around, there were other Ponzi schemes uh, done in U.S. dollars. So if you think about the original Ponzi scheme of all Ponzi schemes, you're gonna have to say it's. I have a theory that U.S. dollars is a Ponzi scheme, and so everything that you do with U.S. dollars also becomes a Ponzi scheme because it's totally related and dependent on U.S. dollars. So the value of Bitcoin comes from, when I trade U.S. dollar to Bitcoin, comes from the U.S. dollar. If the U.S. dollar is a Ponzi scheme, of course, Bitcoin would become a Ponzi scheme too. Now that's a weird theory, but so when I read this, I totally agree because the original Ponzi scheme is the U.S. dollar. So that's why they can say that, all these things, and that's why all these things can be true. I totally agree. So I would highly recommend people reading it. Anybody who's getting into investing, read it. And after you read it, just realize that the original Ponzi scheme is the US dollar. So you're already in it. Question is, do you want to be in something else you can control at your own will, when you want to, how you want to? So that's it for this article. I hope people read it and understand what you're reading. And let me see, what other things have I got? Okay, I'll do a chart analysis here. Okay. So here is the chart analysis that I have, and it looks like it went up, and I know there's some bars missing because well, I put my computer to sleep when I'm not using it. So anyways, it's come back down, and it's doing the same thing as it's always been doing, just going up and then coming back down, and going up and coming back down. Question is, it's how much down is it going to go versus up? Or it's already going up, I want to know how much down is it going to go, because if this is pretty much it and then it's going back up, it's a good sign. It means maybe this is leveling, and it looks like many times you've seen it level around here. So but if it goes down further, there's going to be a lot of losses. Probably people are going to really panic. But it looks like it's leveling out, and if it stays between these two ranges, which I think it will, that's what it'll probably do. And there's no guarantee that it will do it, but you got to remember a lot of things about Bitcoins or any investment or anything that you buy with money. It's all perception of value. So a lot of psychology has to go into what you're willing to pay for something. And right now, Bitcoins are about 439, and so it'll probably range. If it was going to go down further, it would have gone down further right now, but following this channel, but it looks like it's broken out of this channel. So that's what I see. Again, but what I say doesn't mean anything. There's no science for technical analysis, none at all. We're all just guessing. And a little different on BitC, but it's still showing a slight breakout coming down below this line. So if it can go above this and stay above it a little bit longer, then I think we're in a really good back to an uptrend within this range. If not, there could be a big fall coming down here, which you'll see a lot of it associated with the prices along these support lines, I would call them support areas. So just go ahead and if you got some limits for any insurance around here at this price for 382, and then of course this low 340, I believe, somewhere around there. So you know, the BitC's always like always telling me something different, and that's why I always take a little insurance bet here. And then finally we'll go to Bitfin. And Bitfin, it's doing the same thing, but it's already broken out from here. It's already broken out, and so this is showing a different chart. This is more an optimistic chart where I'm showing this is the bottom level, and it's already broken out many times out of this hard resistance, and now it just has to support its own weight and go up from there, build its wealth, so to speak. And Bitfin, I have to admit, acts more of an institutional investing trading platform, so maybe that's why the chart analysis is coming out different. And then same thing with Coinbase right there, and it almost mimics Coinbase and Bitstamp. A little different though, but overall it's doing the same thing. And let me see, do I have anything else? Well, it's back to red again. So it peaked out and went back to the red, as you see right there. But then again, the 30-day average is also moving as well. So as it goes down, it'll just follow it down. As it pops up and down, it'll turn green to red very often. So but there you go. Now it's obviously in a downtrend. Alright, so now I'm going to go back to some other things, and it's going to be crazy theory time. Okay, so if y'all want to stick around for that, I'll give you the craziest theory here. So I want to talk about the day of reckoning. Alright, I know I just said it, the day of reckoning. And what does that all mean, the day of reckoning? And are we in the day of reckoning right now? And my shocking answer is yes, we're in the days of reckoning. And I'm going to give you some evidence of what I'm talking about, and I want you to just think, and it's all related to Bitcoin, believe it or not. So I'll look up some other definitions of when I came up with this nonsense of day of reckoning, right? This day of reckoning talks about a belief, the last judgment, right? And of course in the Bible, and it says here also in the Quran. And if you look up other definitions, very similar. Let's see if this shows up. Oh, right here. Day of reckoning, New Testament, blah blah blah. End of the world, this kind of stuff. And some other, this one not so, biblical. I don't know, I can't say it right now for some reason. But a time when one is called to account for one's actions, to pay one's debt, or fulfill one's promise or obligation. So there's that day of reckoning, right? And then, I wanted to say, well, that day of reckoning really is, maybe, I want to know what it really meant. What does it really mean, day of reckoning? So I just want to say, well, what does reckon mean? So I just looked up the word reckon, and I came up with, this definition, which are very similar to other definitions, but I guess this is what reckon means. I hear people say it out here in Texas. And so, let me see, it says, establish by counting or calculation. Calculate, right? And then the second part would be the second definition, which is similar to the first, right? Is conclude after calculation, be of the opinion, and gives you some examples. And then if I went down further to some of the other definitions, is right here. Let me see. To think or suppose something, to believe that something is true or possible, to calculate or guess an amount, number, value, etc., to have a form, to have or form whatever. And so, if you read what reckon is, it's more in lines of something like this. Now, how does that relate to Bitcoin? Well, once you think that the blockchain is reckoning. The blockchain is reckoning, established by counting or calculation. So I can actually say, since the very first blockchain came into existence, I guess 2008, we are in the days of reckoning. Can I say that? Is that freaky? So, very interesting, isn't it? Now, this is freaky, crazy theory idea. So don't take it literal. It's just an idea. But if you hear what I said, doesn't that kind of make any sense? I don't know. So for me to say that we're in the days of reckoning right now, I guess I can say that, because if you look at days of reckoning, and if you just look up reckon, I think that's what's going on right now. Or maybe it's just been going on for a long time, but this is the first time where anybody can just go on the blockchain. We may not know who they are, but literally you can just reckon. Somebody's reckoning. The Bitcoin network is reckoning. We're in the days of reckoning. See, we're just keeping track of everything, counting, calculating. It's all there for the public to see, as long as you have internet, which is it's not all over the world, but can be all over the world. Wireless technology, just got to get electricity out there. So there you go, crazy theory. I'll try to combine this. I think I had another episode before this, but I'll probably combine them since they're relatively short, but maybe not. Anyways, I hope y'all enjoyed this episode, and feel free to like, dislike, or even do a video response. Until next time, stay tuned. Bye.